SMT Nation, we are back, and we possibly have some internet problems for AT&T. Let me tell you guys what we currently know. Let's take a look at some of the things that are apparent, at least publicly, that I could share with you. I don't really have any details as to the cause specifically, but we can take a look at the scale and the reach of the problem. I'll go ahead and link Down Detector. You guys can check out some of the data that they've collected over the last 24 hours. You guys can check things out for yourself. Link is in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if it's your first time here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, so I use Down Detector anytime I see rumblings on X or any other platforms, or sometimes people even reach out to me by email and let me know they're having troubles, and that's actually what happened. I got an email and a direct message, and then I took over to downdetector.com, which is just data collected and reports of cases of outages for folks. And AT&T, for what it's worth, has been having some pretty serious issues with their network over the course of the last calendar year. You know, what we've seen is large, massive, national type outages, and then we've seen some isolated, smaller ones, which, you know, from time to time, I suppose that it's typical. It does happen. The large ones are the real issues. And then, of course, it's really about time duration. You know, how long is the outage impacting folks? So when I look at the reports, it seems to be I wouldn't say abnormal volume. I mean, it's a little bit higher than normal, above baseline here in the AM and then through most of the afternoon and early evening. But I see like a major spike starting around 7 p.m. Things kind of calm down, and then a massive spike in reports in the thousands. Now, most people don't report their outages. They don't report network downtime. You know, they don't know that Down Detector exists, and they don't know that there's anything they could do. So they just sit there and they wait, right? So they're passively just waiting for, you know, services to be functional as they should be. But I do see a spike here, kind of sort of starting around 7 p.m. and then going through this massive bump through the 7 o'clock hour and into the 8 o'clock hour. But it seems like things did improve. And I don't know about the locations. I don't see specifically any type of region that was more impacted by others. I see reports coming out of Southern Ohio. I see some people reporting fiber going down in some places. I don't know what that might mean, because typically the Down Detector is relative to the wireless networks, right? So AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, but definitely there were several people reporting it. And then actually, I'm looking through some timeline stuff on X, and I see people complaining that their AT&T services were coming in and out in like 5 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. So this one, I think, is small scale, possibly thousands impacted, as opposed to maybe, you know, the millions we saw impacted. Remember, AT&T has a very, very massive collection of wireless subscribers paying their bill every month, prepaid, postpaid. So, you know, a lot of people definitely probably impacted. There was a Microsoft Exchange outage or something. I know about that. So maybe that's what was going on earlier in the week. But people are reporting, but it does appear to be smaller scale. This particular outage maybe was fixed or addressed pretty quickly, pretty localized, nothing crazy. But yeah, people are definitely, you know, voicing that there was some kind of outage. Now, I'm happy that this one was A, short-lived, B, small scale. Doesn't really help folks that were impacted. There's no consolation prize. But we have seen some very, I'd say, consistent instability from the AT&T network, which we're hoping that they continue to work on that to improve it. And, you know, these things become much less frequent. These things become shorter. You know, outages happen from time to time. Nobody's saying that they have to be perfect. That is simply not the case. But when they do go down, we need to see them get back up pretty quick, and then you know, let that become a lesser of an issue. All right, so good that AT&T was able to get things figured out pretty quick and responsive to it. Glad for that. But the reputation is going to start to stick if they continue to see outages of scale. Glad this one wasn't. But, like I said, they're treading some very, very difficult waters, with public perception. Remember, this is a first responder network. There's more on the line for them to lose, with network reliability kind of put into question recently, and then in like the last year or so. What do you guys think? Does this continue to build on the concern we have for the AT&T network, looking for that additional stability? Do you guys think they're going to get there? They seem to be struggling with it more so than the other two recently, and they are the first responder network. What's your take on it? You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.